Okay, who's ready? Okay, so like I said, I'm Weston. I work at Spiceworks. So I volunteered to talk about Pagefront. I actually hadn't heard of Pagefront until Lydia used it at the meetup that almost none of you were at because you were at EmberConf, where I was not. But anyway, I've used it and since then, and it's pretty awesome. So I don't have any slides because I thought I'd tempt fate and just sort of do a live deploy so you can see how easy it really is. So hopefully it really goes according to plan. So we have, thank you. So so I set up a little Ember app here that's running locally, and it's really simple. It's using an API I found, the public API I found that just, oh, is it working? Come on, there we go. That just like loads users, just so it had some sort of API so I can sort of demo the API stuff. And so let's say that we want to get this up on the internet for real. So you can go to Pagefront. I should have taken us to the main site, excuse me, pagefrontapp.com. And you can sign up, and you end up basically get dropped into a dashboard that looks like this. And you can basically just add an app. And so I'm going to add an app, and this one's going to be called Silly Users. And there we have it. And so now it basically just gives you instructions for your Ember CLI. So you copy this guy. Nobody steal my API key. And we run that. And it's going to install the Pagefront app add-on as well as Ember CLI deploy. And it's also going to configure that key into a .env.production so that you can push. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Almost there. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see that at the back. Let me push it up to the top. But it says success, and can you read that at the back, the actual text? Anybody? Yes? All right, cool. Okay, cool. So it gives you instructions, which is Ember deploy production. So I'm going to do that. Preparing for deploy. Please work. All right, uploaded 6 assets, and it tells you the URL of your app. If you switch back to your dashboard, it'll actually tell you that here as well. And so you can actually open this, and we'll see the same app now running on the internet. On a Pagefront app, a site, domain, you can point your own domain names at that. The one thing that's not working yet is our data, and if I open up the dev console, you'll see that basically the data requests are trying to hit the local host because before I was just using the Ember serve proxy thing that proxies to this API. And one of the nice things about Pagefront is it gives you the ability to proxy your API requests through Pagefront out to the API host. So I'm going to copy what I've been proxying with Ember CLI and skip to my Pagefront setup. And in settings, you can add an API proxy. And I think I called it that. You basically give each proxy a name. And there's one more bit of setup you have to do. So let me open a file here. Can I set this down? So basically here, I'll show you. So when you add an API proxy, so what it's going to do is map this URL on your Pagefront app to that API. And so you basically just need to configure that URL in your Ember app. So if I switch to my app proper, and so in the adapter, you basically just,
I'll hold it for you.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome. So in the adapter, you can just set the namespace. Obviously, you'd want to sort of like condition this on production and development or something. I'm just going to hard code it for simplicity. And we're going to redeploy real quick. Wait, why is it? No, that's not what I meant to do. Why didn't somebody stop me? Ember deploy to production. Sorry, we have to wait for npm install again. Oh no! Oh no! What happened? Oh. No, we're not going to do that. think that'll work. Let's try. I'm afraid that node modules is screwed up. All right, well, while that's running, there's a couple other things I'll show you. So there's a couple other things that you can do here, which is kind of cool. They do have, so let me skip back to the app, silly users. So they do have staging and development, so you can actually push to different things. And so your app would be, instead of silly users, it would be sillyusers.staging.pagefrontapp.com. So you can push separately. Once I get another deploy here, ooh, is it going to work? Once I get another deploy here, you'll see that you actually get multiple, you get a history of deploys with git hashes, git SHAs, so you can actually roll back to a previous version if you want, which is great. And, what's that? Oh, yes, I do. Thank you. Yep. All right. Adapter fixed again. Deploy one more time. And hopefully that works because that's the last thing I wanted to show, I think. In here you can actually, this is where you can set up, I think I can hold it now, thank you. This is where you can set up custom domains. You can add custom headers and stuff, and in the, I didn't show this, but in the Api Proxy, if you need to set any headers to sort of pass along to the proxy, you can, or I'm sorry, pass along to the API server, you can. All right, so hopefully, silly users. Okay, so now you can see we have multiple deploys, so we could roll back if we wanted. Let's go see if this guy works now. Yay! So there you go. One note, the API proxy thing is really cool when it works. I had a ton of trouble with it. I actually went and found like a giant list of public APIs that you can use for sort of testing, and half of them didn't work for some reason. I didn't stick around to try to debug them because I didn't really care. I just wanted something to use. Some of the ones on, I don't know, one of the like common hosting sites doesn't like you proxying through, and it says like that site's not found or something. So just keep that in mind. I think that's it. Any questions? Yep. I have not used either of them. As far as I know, they're basically just different instances. I think in development, I presume it builds in development. It builds a development build and pushes it, but I'm not sure. It does not. Yeah, there you go. It's just whatever you push. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys. Don't know what to do.